Welcome to the segment on education, enforcement, and maintenance projects of our Successful Applicant webinar. These projects are relatively straightforward, so this is a very short presentation. We only have a handful of slides to share. Education and enforcement and maintenance projects are available in both the Non-Highway Off-Road Vehicle Activities Program, or NOVA, or in the Recreational Trails Program, or RTP. The main differences between NOVA and RTP are as follows. RTP maintenance projects are limited to trails that provide a backcountry experience. NOVA maintenance project sites must be accessed by a non-highway road, but are not limited to backcountry trails. NOVA projects may also include maintenance and operations projects. Operations means the regular and routine non-capital operational costs, such as cleaning restrooms, garbage service, septic service, etc., of a NOVA-eligible trail, facility, or area. Maintenance and operations projects shall be allowed only at trails, facilities, and areas that are currently managed and are in use. While NOVA education projects also allow for enforcement activities or issuing warnings and citations, RTP projects are only for education activities. RTP education projects must promote a safety or environmental protection message. The key resources where you can find policies and requirements for these programs are the manuals. Manual 13 for NOVA Education and Enforcement, Manual 14 for NOVA Maintenance, and Manual 26 for RTP. Purchasing equipment is allowed in maintenance and education projects, including capital equipment, which is defined as equipment and vehicles that cost over $5,000 per item. If you have equipment purchases as part of your project, be sure the purchase of equipment is specifically listed in your grant agreement scope. Follow appropriate procurement procedures, keep track of your inventory, and review the equipment liquidation policy before you dispose of equipment purchased with grant funds. All equipment or steel purchased with RTP funds must comply with federal Buy America requirements. Next, I will highlight a few requirements for maintenance projects. All maintenance projects need to meet the environmental and cultural resources clearances required by law, NEPA and Section 106 for projects on federal lands, and SEPA and Executive Order 2102 for projects on state lands. The federal or state landowner should have documentation that their agency's requirements have been met. Environmental clearance documentation was due by the technical completion deadline, so this should already be complete for your project. RCO will review your cultural resources clearance documentation and let you know if anything else is needed. Please ensure that environmental and cultural resources clearance documentation has been provided to and approved by RCO prior to starting the maintenance work. Reach out to your grant manager with questions. For projects where the grant sponsor is not the landowner, such as nonprofit trail maintenance on state or federal lands, documentation of permission from the landowner is required. This was due when you applied, so it should already be complete for your project. Education, enforcement, and maintenance projects take a lot of work on the part of the sponsor to accurately track labor, materials, and work accomplished. Be sure to review our reimbursement manual, manual number 8, for eligible expenses requirements for maintaining records related to volunteers, supplies, and other labor. Sponsors are responsible for maintaining all their own cost and accounting records. We hope this was a helpful overview of RCO education, enforcement, and maintenance projects. If you have other questions, please contact your grants manager. Thanks for watching.